Jane Goodall is here. Thank you for being here. Did the Jane Goodall Legacy Foundation launch this week in Davos? Its purpose is to safeguard Goodall's lifetime work on conservation, animals, and the environment for future generations. And she joins us right now. And you brought a little something special too.
Well, Mr. H has been my traveling companion for 28 years. He's been with me to 64 countries, and that includes North Korea. And he's Mr. H because Gary Horn gave him to me. And he's, of course, symbolic. Gary Horn went blind, decided to be a magician, was told it was impossible. Kids don't know he's blind. And then he says, something goes wrong with you. Don't give up. There's always a way forward. And he's just taught himself to paint. He thought he was giving me a stuffed chimpanzee. And I took his hand and made him hold the tail. He said, never mind, take him with you and you know my spirit's with you. So he symbolizes the indomitable human spirit.
You have now launched the Jane Goodall Legacy Foundation here in Davos. Tell us what that's about.
Well, you know, ever since 1986, when I realized that the forests were going, chimp numbers were dropping, all the problems facing the chimp, and soon after that began to understand the plight of so many of the African people living in and around forests who are cripplingly poor. They don't have good health education facilities. And so raising money and developing a program, first of all around the Gombe area, throughout chimp range in Tanzania, now in 6 other African countries where there are chimps, and giving people better lives in the way they choose. And they've become our partners in conservation. If you don't have the local people with you, there's no point doing it because it's their country. And then having, you know, being still working on getting the funding for this, what's the point if younger generations aren't going to be better stewards than we've been?
You've raised an enormous amount of money, including from some corporate sponsors, and that's one of the reasons you're here. Yes,
that's it. And this, basically, it's an endowment so that there are 34 Jane Goodall Institutes around the world. There's 80 countries with our youth program, which is kindergarten, university, and everything in between. And all of these groups are choosing projects. They choose them to make the world a better place for people, animals, environment.
How much money are you trying to raise?
250.
250 million.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. I wanted to make sure.
Yes.
We could try to raise more for you right now. We have a lot of wealthy viewers who hopefully are watching this right now.
Well, the point is that these young people all over the world, and we were right across China, right across US and other parts of the world, moving into the Middle East. It's not that they can make a difference. They are. And why should we care? Because we have been stealing their future. Here's our intellect taking us to Mars. Here's clever businesses. Here's the new technology era. And something's gone wrong. And what's gone wrong, I think, is a disconnect between this clever intellect, and that's what separates us more than anything from chimpanzees and other animals, and love and compassion, the human heart.
I have a couple of very quick questions. One is there's a debate here in Davos about capitalism and giving back. And I'm curious sort of where you stand on that, given the work that you've done all these years.
Well,
whether it's working for people, right?
I think that there are some individuals, philanthropists, some businesses, and they definitely are giving back. The thing is, sometimes you can hardly differentiate whether they're doing it sort of greenwashing to look good,
right,
or whether it's actually the passion of the CEO. But quite honestly, as long as they give the money and it's not a corrupt business, because we have to be careful. I don't want to take money from some company that's completely destroying the environment.
2 other quick questions. Kids these days, you like kids to spend time outdoors. Unfortunately, a lot of kids, I don't know if it's unfortunate or not, spend time on screens, including my own kids. What do you think of that right now?
Well, we do.
Going to change?
We do know that for good psychological development, it's been proved children need to be out in the green world.
And then final question, you travel 300 days a year.
Roughly.
Roughly. How old are you now, can I ask?
Well, in 2 months, I'll be 85.
85 years old. We have a lot of people who watch this show who also are road warriors. What's the trick?
Passion, mission, just doing what you have to do because you care.
Okay, fair enough. Jane Goodall, thank you. Really
Thank you.
appreciate it.